walk along the old Tokaido Highway here and address a difficult topic. I did a video just a little earlier today called the world's greatest bureaucracy, and talking about my experience, very excellent experience at two government offices here in Japan earlier in the day. And Teresa, my friend T here in Shimizu, left a really, really interesting comment, basically pointing out the difference between the treatment that of different types of foreigners in Japan, and the distinction being made between white Caucasian foreigners and non-whites. A very, very tricky subject, one I would never touch on my own had it not been for that comment. And I've experienced it from a different perspective. Teresa's experienced it from being a non-white foreigner in Japan, and I've experienced it from being a white foreigner in Japan. And I wanted to make a video to back Teresa up in noting that really, really does exist. It's really hard for me to talk about this because I feel really awkward about it, but I want to. Being white in Japan, especially 20 years ago, was like being a celebrity in a way, and I really, and I don't think I'm exaggerating. It's not so much now, but it really used to be like that. You know, I remember walking through the streets and the comments like gaijin, kind of a lot of people don't like that term, but at the time it was more like kids, running after you to meet you, and people looking at you, and the incredible treatment that you got, the way people forgave you for the slightest mistake that you could make, not understanding the culture, the way you were completely not expected to know the language, and everybody would go out of their way to help you with it. Now, Teresa's absolutely correct. Things have changed a lot over the years, and I wasn't aware that difference existed in the bureaucratic system, the way that non-white foreigners were treated in Japan, or I'm sure the same is the case in retail establishments as well. Of course, I'm very familiar with that type of racial profiling in my own country, a very mixed culture, especially in Southern California. But I do want to say that even though it's changed here in Japan, it still exists. And even today, just today, at the Japanese driving center, I was thinking about it as there was a man ahead of me in line. And it wasn't the driving center, it was the immigration office. And so everybody there was a foreigner, all the people that were coming there for help. And the man ahead of me was Chinese, but he spoke Japanese really, really well. I mean, para, he knew the lingo, and he could read, and he could write. I mean, this guy had it down. And he was dressed nice, conservative outfit, spoke the language, could read and write the language, and here I am. I wasn't dressed like this. I changed my shirt. I was too sweaty. I was dressed in a Hawaiian shirt with shorts and flip-flops, and I can't speak the language. I can't read and write, and I breeze on in there. I've got my little dictionary, but I'm conditioned from past experience that I'm just gonna, whatever obstacle comes up, and it's my personality. I just manage to get through whatever. It's true in my own country. I don't worry too much about that kind of stuff. I save my worrying for other things. Anyway. I go in, and I know from past experience that I'll be treated well. And I was thinking, this is before I even read Teresa's comment, I was thinking, this man beside me is so much more worthy of better treatment. And I don't know what kind of treatment he was getting. It looked like he was doing just fine. But if there's anybody in that office this morning, that was deserving of less than optimal treatment, it's me. Coming in there with my brash style, failure to understand the language, inability to fit in, and my ugly attitude of expecting to get by, which isn't just an American attitude. It's just my own thing. It's not fair that I expect that I will in almost every case be. Oh, and I'll give you another example. I went into the when I got to the driving center and I went in, I walked in, I looked a little bit confused when I walked in, and immediately an employee ran up to me and asked me what I needed. And I don't know if everybody gets that kind of treatment. And then she was there when I needed to find the photo thing. She was keeping an eye on me. I was a little bit lost, and she ran over to help me. And I don't know if everybody receives that treatment. Hopefully they all do. And I, for one, am not comfortable with it, because I, for one, do not deserve it. I deserve to be turned aside for my inability and my failure after all these years, and not to receive any special treatment whatsoever. So what Therese said is true. It's real, and it is less, but it's still real, I think. And I don't know how long if it'll ever go away. And one last thing, I'm sorry, Therese. I just noticed today. I'm sorry, Therese. I just noticed. I don't check email very much. I'm so lame on everything. I haven't been on Twitter forever. I haven't been anywhere. And I just noticed that you posted a video response. I'm going to take a look at it this afternoon. Well, I'm going to approve it, of course, and I'll look at it and leave comments on it. Thank you. I'm sorry that I missed it so long. I'm sorry for everybody that I'm such a lame-o in so many ways. And thank you for all your patience, everybody. Take care. Have a great day from the formerly the most famous road in Japan. Bye-bye.